Now, I am a big fan of mystery. I'm a big fan of the paranormal and the supernatural. I study it extensively. Most of my library at home now goes over 1,000 books. Accounts for topics such as these. For my next demonstration, involving the great Edgar Allan Poe, I will need 2 volunteers in the audience, and they do not need to be related or dating or married or anything like that. Might be more entertaining. Who would like to volunteer? We got 1 volunteer, we have 2 volunteers. Going up! What's your name? Chris. Chris, and you are? Stacy and Chris, everyone. Round of applause. Okay. Now, this is a true story. You can Google it later. I'm actually on the board of directors of the Edgar Allan Poe House and Museum in Baltimore City. That's right. And I'm going to tell you a story about the annotated works of Edgar Allan Poe. A few years ago, they tried to put together the most collective works of Poe ever before, particularly focusing on his scarier stories. It was very unique because they had just discovered only a couple of years ago unedited papers in his writing desk in the campus. Papers, versions of the stories he had never meant for anyone to see. Some people believe that it should never have been revealed and released to the public. Now, what's interesting to note is the 3 scholars who were working on this had led to the ridiculous idea in the press that these papers were cursed. I mean, it didn't help by all 3 of them dying. They're ridiculous, of course. I know. Just coincidence is happening after all. The first one died in the Central Library in Baltimore, having plummeted from the 2nd floor to the marble floor below. It was an unfortunate accident, and we missed him very much. The second one, she was in an elevator at the Carroll Mansion. The cable broke. And the third one, well, she just set herself on fire. There was a weird salt circle in the middle of the room, and she had like the book right there, and only 1 page survived. But you don't believe in curses, right? No, fantastic. So on that note, all right, we're going to tell a story from the last page that survived those annotated works. This page belongs to a very specific story. The Masque of the Red Death. That's right. Have you ever heard of it? Okay. It tells the story of a plague that ravages the country. The people on high mock the people below. They stay in their great big castle on the hill and revel in the disaster around them, thinking to protect them from the disease called the Red Death, destroying the country. Lucky for us, nothing like this is going to happen in real life. Are you still interested in participating? Okay. Now, my question for you is you had to play roles at our little theater tonight. All right, who wants to be the Red Death and who wants to be Prince Prospero?
Don't kill me, I have to bartend me a bit Friday night.
All right.
I'll be the Red Death.
All right, you get to be Prince Prospero. Fantastic. That's adorable. Yours, less so. That's right. You got a mask, but this is not all. Sorry, a little bit of green dust there. Everyone, give a round of applause for the Red Death! It's Prince Prospero! All right. Here, his last page on the annotated works. You see it says, the annotated works pose complete tales of terror. Are you ready to Okay, before we begin, I should tell you that this page has an extra paragraph out of the original that is led to believe that the book itself is cursed. The books fall down. There we go. All right, I will skip over the custom paragraph for now. All right, Prince Prospero, if you will. All right, since you are, after all, responsible for all the death that takes place by not properly protecting your people. All right, I want you to choose for one of these three objects. Just touch one object, the raven, the pocket watch, and the coin. Interesting choice. All right, choose one more object. That only leaves the coin behind. The only place you have to go is into the pouch. All right, are you ready, players? Fantastic. In an assembly of phantasms such as I have painted, it may well be supposed that no ordinary appearance could have excited such sensation. In truth, the masquerade license of the night was nearly unlimited, but the figure in question had out-Heroded Herod, and had gone beyond the bounds of even the prince's indefinite decorum. There are chords in the hearts of the most reckless which cannot be touched without emotion, even with the utterly lost to whom life and death are equal jests. There are matters which no jest can be made. The whole company indeed seemed now deeply to feel that in the costume of bearing the stranger, neither wit nor propriety existed. It's you. The figure was tall and gaunt, and shrouded from head to foot in the habiliments of the grave. The mask which concealed the visage was made so nearly to resemble the countenance of a stiffened corpse that the closest scrutiny must have been difficult in detecting the cheat. And yet all this might have been endured if not approved by the mad revelers around, but the murmur had gone so far as to assume the type of the Red Death. That's right. Now you get to be flamboyant. His vesture was dabbled in blood, and his broad brow, with all the features of the face, was bespeckled with a scarlet horror. When the eyes of Prince Prospero fell upon the spectre's image, which with a slow and swollen movement, as it were fully to sustain its role, stalked to and fro amongst the waltzers. That's right. He was seen to be convulsed, this is you, Prospero, seen to be convulsed in the first moment with a strong shudder, either of terror or distaste. But in the next, his brow reddened with rage.
Oh my gosh.
I have never seen such rage before. All right, read this part, ready?
Who dares he demand coarsely of the porters who stood near him? Who dares insult us with his
This blasphemous
mockery?
seize him.
And unmask him, that we may know whom we have hang at sunrise from the battlements.
Very good. Very dramatic, yes. Very well. It was in the eastern or blue chamber which stood the Prince Prospero. As he uttered these words, they rang throughout the 7 rooms loudly and clearly, for the prince was a bold and robust man. Yes, I'm terrified. And the music had become hushed at the waving of his hand. That's right. We'll skip ahead a little bit more. We don't want to be here all night. Are you ready? The apparition stood before the prince. In his dank and dripping hand was a raven skull, the omen of death. In Prospero's quivering hand was a watch set for midnight, and in a pouch at his side still held a coin from a game of chance. And now was acknowledged the presence of the Red Death. He had come like a thief in the night, and one by one dropped the revelers in the blood-bedewed calls of this revel and died, each in the despairing posture of his fall, and the life of the ebony clock went out with that of the lamps of the gay, and the flames of the tripods expired, and darkness and decay, the Red Death held illimitable dominion over all. Now, players. I'm sure of the fact that you chose your own coincidence and nothing to do with a curse. A round of applause for our players. Yes. Any commentary, anyone?
Masque stayed better on his face.